Is that the sound it makes when you go into the quantum realm right now? I feel like I know this one. I feel like I know what's going to happen. Welcome back to Good Things. Don't forget we're streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm, but it is Friday, which means we asked Tanya in the house to talk movies. And I was like, I know what weekend this is.
Yes.
So for those who may not know, what was that music for?
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Quantumania.
They made up words for the name of their movie. Yeah,
that one's every now and then I get tongue tied on certain words, and that's one of them. My southern drawl won't quite get there, but this is Phase 5 in the Marvel universe. So we just finished 4 with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and so now here we go. And I don't know about you, but I'm having trouble keeping up with all these phases.
Absolutely. I didn't even know there were phases until you educated us.
Yeah. But it's getting more and more, I feel like when the TV shows started, they weren't quite as important to kind of keep up with things. But I feel like that's changed. I think, if you really want to know what's coming and, all of this stuff is building up to another Avenger, series where everybody comes together and, with one common mission. And so all of these little movies and TV shows are building toward that. But this is the third in the Ant-Man series. And for me, this movie sort of bridges and kind of kicks off the multiverse saga, which, we're seeing more and more of that. And I think that's probably because there's no limit on what you can do as far as storyline when you do that. But and also this one introduces Kang the Conqueror, who for me was the standout in this movie.
So you got to see it last night?
Yes, I saw it yesterday. And Jonathan Major plays Kang. He is having a great year. We saw him a little earlier this year in the movie Devotion. And then next month, he's going to be in Creed 3. And then, of course, he's taken over the role he is Kang. Now, we first met this character in the Loki TV series. At the very end of the first season, we're introduced to a very, kind of mild version of this guy who... just backing up, this one kicks off with... Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He is living his life in San Francisco. His character is Scott Lang. He's living in San Francisco, making the most of being one of the Avengers that saved the Earth, and he can't go anywhere without people pointing and staring and asking for selfies and paying for his coffee, paying for his lunch. I mean, he's just kind of a star right now. And so he's, he wrote a book. He's just really capitalizing on his fame for the moment. So life is pretty good. But he is still kind of struggling with the fact that he doesn't quite feel like he is a real Avenger because he's really just a real guy. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he's reconciling his past where he was a criminal in jail and the fact that he's lost so much time with his daughter between his incarceration and the blip that, they were apart for the 5 years. And so, anyway, he, he's just kind of coming to terms with, what's next for me. And while the blip was happening, his daughter, Cassie, had a lot of time on her hands with everybody gone. So she got into Hank Pym's lab, so we know Scott is dating Hope, who is the Wasp, and her dad is Hank Pym, who is the one that came up with Ant-Man, designed the suit and everything. He was the original Ant-Man. And she gets into his lab, finds his journals, and just kind of, takes a dive in there trying to figure out if she can come up with a way to get everybody back that had disappeared. And in the process, she figured out a way to travel to the quantum realm. Or wait, I'm saying that wrong. The realm. But anyway, she's so excited. She's showing all of them this contraption that she's built. Mm-hmm. And of course, they all get sucked in. And before you know it, they're there. And the quantum realm is where Hope's mother, Janet, has been, in the last movie, she, was gone, and we find out that she's been trapped on this realm for 30 years. And so they go back to where she had been trapped for all those years.
I would never go back.
I know. And so when they get there, she, of course, is very distressed, and now she has to come clean about what happened while she was there. And she unknowingly helped the Kang, basically his attempt to break out and take over the world. She gave him some help doing that. So she's also wrestling with guilt over that. And, so he's trying to use them to get out, and they're trying to fight to keep him in. So that's kind of what...
Is it good, though?
Yes. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And you have to, you just have to go with it. But yes, I thought it was great. I thought, Paul Rudd is just great. He's like the perfect person for this role.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas is great. Michelle Pfeiffer, she looks incredible. I'm like, she does not age. She looks exactly the same. Evangeline Lilly is great as Hope. But like I said earlier, I feel like Jonathan Majors, he is the next big bad guy for this series. And he makes Thanos look like a wimp. He is equally charming and terrifying at the same time. So it's really a hard mix to pull off, and he does it.
Can you still catch up with it if you hadn't seen any of the Lokis, any of the things like that?
Yeah, I think you could still follow. They do enough of kind of telling you what happened, referencing it. So you can keep up, but I think it definitely would pay off for you to go back and rewatch some of them. Watch the first two. You're fine if you haven't seen Loki, for sure. And the other person that I thought had a great role is William Jackson Harper. He plays in the realm, there are all these creatures, and they kind of remind me of anytime you see a bar scene in a Star Wars movie. All the weird creatures, all the odd looking things, people, creatures, aliens, whatever you want to call them. That's who's there. And William Jackson Harper plays Quaz, and he's really funny. So I was excited to see him. And then, it's definitely one you want to see on the big screen because it's just mind-blowing, the special effects and the colors. It's definitely fun. There is a mid-credit scene that will haunt me for days and weeks to come. And then you have a post-credit scene. So
mid-credit.
Yeah. So make sure if you have to go to the bathroom, stay for the mid-credit, run out, and come back. You'll have time.
You'll have time to do that. Anything else this weekend?
There actually is a couple of new movies. Marlowe is a rated R movie, and it's Liam Neeson, and it's one of those sort of a detective movie set in the early 30s. And it's rated R. I think I said that. And then another rated R movie, and this one, do not make the mistake of taking your kids. It's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And so,
what a title!
And this one, Christopher Robin has abandoned Pooh Bear and Piglet. And so they become feral and have to fend for themselves. And they kind of, in the process of doing that and being abandoned, they get a taste for blood.
Who was high the day that they gave this project a green light?
And so they're out there just being destructive, just not the Pooh Bear we're accustomed to seeing.
I'm going to hope, Knock at the Door did well. So, nothing will amaze me, but I'm hoping this one tanks.
Yeah.
I don't even need to see the trailer.
Yeah, I haven't. I have seen a couple of trailers, but as far as I have not heard any buzz about it, so I don't think anybody's running out to see it.
I would, if you appreciate your childhood and your future restful nights of sleep, I can't see why this would be something you would want to enjoy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Ant-Man. I think that's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think everybody will enjoy it, but if you are one that really pays attention to the...
Mike from Grand Bay, what about Eeyore? Is he just the same?
Oh, I don't know if Eeyore's in it.
Told y'all life sucks. I feel like Eeyore saw this coming, from the very get-go.
Yeah, he was always kind of abandoned, so...
Yeah, he's probably the sitting back, told you so, but that's funny. All right, Tanya, we appreciate you. You guys stick with us. We got a little bit more for you.